Glory be to God. As Trevor UG, what I have on my heart, the grace I've been given, is to discover who you are. The videos I've been given by the grace of God to talk about, to share, basically they're about to discover who you are. And when you have discovered who you are, what do you do? And what is expected of you? Okay, what is expected of you, but having discovered who you are and what you continue to do and what not to do. Now, what we're going to talk about, some people scratch their heads. They ask, really, when you talk about it, and what is that? The voice of God. Some people argue when we tell them. Some people say, even us ourselves, we used to wonder that really, how can someone say I've heard the voice of God? Now, let's rush into the scriptures. In Genesis 1:26, God said, let us make man in our own image and likeness. Now, if God said, and I talk, you speak, or we speak, now how can we say that if we are made from the image and likeness of God, he talks and we don't talk? Oh, he doesn't talk and we talk. Very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. So, we look at this beauty. We look at these flowers. God spoke in the first chapter of Genesis. He spoke. Let the earth produce its own. Let the waters produce. Now, these flowers, if he spoke, somehow I would call it a return, that we usually get visitors, tourists, to come and visit and enjoy the nature, our national parks. One of the things they find interesting are the vegetation, this beauty, the birds in the national parks, the animals we have in the wildlife. Which means these, and if you ask them, they will say they speak, which means they have, in a way, indirectly, God's voice. Some like the waters, like some people, you go and sit at the rock, at the waters, and you enjoy that beauty, which means nature speaks to you. That's God's voice. Going back to the scriptures, in the book of Samuel, Samuel, the prophet, the judge, had a voice calling him. He went to the priest, who was Eli, thinking he's the one who has called him. And he had never heard the voice of God. So Eli, the priest, came to realize that God was talking to Samuel. Now, why have I brought this example? In this issue we are talking about God's voice, Samuel had never heard the voice of God. So those who have I wouldn't really call it a challenge, or doubt that God doesn't talk, the servants of the Most High God help us, like as it was in the instance of Samuel, to recognize, they're happy to hear God's voice and the rest. God's voice, what we have shared today, as Trevor UG, I bless the name of the Lord. God bless. Cheerio.